Asperity is Esmeralda clone.
Really?
But Esmeralda is still there.
And we should be live in a few seconds here.
Yay!
Okay, we're live again.
Welcome back!
Yes, welcome back. Weren't gone for too long, but we have yet another fanfiction here. Now this one's
not as bad.
Yeah, I know next to nothing about this one.
It's one that I had found. I actually remember I was up late one night looking on my phone trying to find something to read, and I was digging around in Disney. I found Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I was like, maybe I could find some bad ones. Boy, did I find it. I mean, it's not Back to the Frollo bad, but I haven't finished reading it. I'm up to chapter 5. But, the OC is basically an Esmeralda clone.
That just speaks wonders of what we're gonna get. Is this just gonna be pretty much Hunchback of Notre Dame, but with OC?
I'm sorry, what?
Is this pretty much gonna be just Hunchback of Notre Dame, but with OC?
Kind of, but there's like other details that they share. There's a moment where you're like, wait, what? And then they later do some semi-poor explaining and almost nothing.
Ah, fun.
Sorry, I was just looking at my phone. I was gonna tell Matt that we're back on, and Craig had texted me. He says, also, we gotta talk about the warhead and Italian ice being in the freezer. It was not cool the other night, biting into a green one, expecting melon and getting sour lime. Now I have trust problem. I'm sorry. I bought some Warheads ice pops, and they were delicious. And I guess now he has trust issues. Because I also bought regular ones. And they kind of got mixed up. I am sorry. I'm the best. Alright, just told Mel we were back live. So, oh, there you are. Hi. So, did you hear the ice pop story? The very brief ice pop story. Well, yes, now I see you now.
Yeah, if you
yes, the ice pop story. So
more often.
I was looking at my phone. I'm sorry. All right, so thanks for confirming I am best. It was not cool. I was expecting melon, and instead got sour lime. Okay, so we are here with Asperity. It is a Hunchback of Notre Dame fan fiction, and we already got 4 watchers.
Oh,
cool. Hi, 4 watchers.
Hello, friends.
I promise you that this one is safe for work.
You know what? I should go back and label the other one not safe for work.
You probably should. This one is pretty much rated G. Maybe.
No.
I say PG very lightly.
Unfortunately, this is not the one that we were talking about before.
Not Back to the Frollo. No.
We've got to read that.
Yep. We need Sammy for that, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Asperity is one that I found late one night. I was trying to find some fan fiction to read. This is safe for work. The main character is essentially an Esmeralda clone who happens to be Quasimodo's sister.
Okay.
So there are some places where it is their own stuff, and then there's other places where they pretty much copy scene for scene, and it's actually kind of amusing to read it because where Esmeralda would be, insert OC.
So does Esmeralda even exist in this?
Yes, Esmeralda does exist in it. She is pretty much an adopted sister.
Okay.
But yes, Asperity is the older sister of Quasimodo.
Okay. I don't know what else to say.
Would you like me to start?
Well, you just read the entirety of that one scene from My Inner Life, so,
Okay. Then I'll say the disclaimer. We are not here to bash the writer. We're not here to tell them to quit writing. We are here to basically poke fun at some old work and where they could make things better.
I see this is a newer fan fiction being updated last year. Last year. It looks like it was finished. Started in 2011. Still kind of newish. So, yeah. Pretty much. Sorry.
I think it's only updated newer. Sorry, it's okay. It's only updated newer because they decided to do a sequel on it.
And hopefully there's improvements in the sequel.
And they do say that it is slightly AU. So I guess that explains the whole scene for scene insert OC. But yeah, we're not hating.
Yeah,
we're not trying to discourage.
Yeah, we're trying to help strengthen whenever we find something that's pretty out there. But with that disclaimer out of the way, let's begin Chapter 1, My Story.
Take it away.
You all know the story of Quasimodo. When his parents arrived in Paris that winter night, they were betrayed, and Judge Claude Frollo arrested his father and killed his mother on the steps of the cathedral, nearly killing him as well before the archdeacon stopped him. Before I almost ran out of hiding to save my baby brother. When the small boat pulled up along the shore, my father helped me out, and then my mother preparing to pay for safe passage into Paris. It was then when the guards began pouring out of the alleys. Asperity, run. My father pushed me away into the darkness, and I ran, my feet going numb from the cold. I think I stepped on a rock and cut my bare foot, but I couldn't feel it. It was too cold. Far away, I heard a hoarse scream, and I ran faster. I tripped a lot. I was only 5, and I was being chased like a murderer. At least I thought. When I turned a corner, I saw the cathedral, and I ran towards it, tears rolling down my dark face, trying to get in. That's when I heard my mum on the other side. I ran as fast as I could to get to the front side, but when I reached the corner, I saw the bundle of my brother being held above the well. I wanted to run towards the evil-looking man in the black robes to take my brother away, but someone yelled to stop. I hid in the shadows and saw the archdeacon holding the dead body of my mother. Tears flowed faster now, and I ran again, away. My family was gone. I had nowhere to go. I wandered all night, finally collapsing at the gate to the cemetery.
Gates. Hashtag gate fandom.
Why is this a constant?
Like gates.
That's where Clopin found me. He picked me up and took me down to the Court of Miracles. He was 8. His mother bandaged my foot and fed me a little of the food I had. I'm sorry. I can't concentrate. I thought it said his mother banged up my foot. They asked me where I was from and where my family was. I told them I came from England, that my father had been captured, and my mother was dead. That the evil-looking man in black robes had killed her. I didn't know what happened to my brother. After a few days, Cornelius's family took me. It was smaller than Clopin's and had more room. That's when I met Esmeralda. Oh, okay, she is here.
I told you she's here.
Well, I mean, I didn't expect her to pop up this soon. She was 3. We became like sisters, and alongside with Clopin and Cornelius, no one really liked him very much. We caused mayhem around the Court of Miracles. 8 years later, as Esmeralda and I begun to learn to fortune tell and dance and perform with Clopin the streets for money. Okay, I had to look at that a few times because there's a few errors here. We learned to dance in general at 4. A commotion broke out at the mouth of the court where Cornelius was staggering in with a man slumped on his shoulders. We crept closer for a better look, and I recognized the man being carried. Are we doing voices for this too, or nah?
If you want me to, I can.
Go for it.
Buddy!
I ran towards him. At the sound of my voice, he looked up and faintly smiled as he let go of Cornelius and knelt down to pull me into a hug.
Father, you're alive!
I started to cry.
What happened? I was frightened. I thought you were dead. Just a moment, child.
He rocked back onto his heels and sat down, grunting, yet still holding on to me and stroking my thick black hair. His blue eyes were sparkling with energy, yet his body wouldn't move.
I escaped last night from the prison. Cornelius found me and brought me here. It has taken me this past 8 years to escape that hell.
He grew stronger each day and soon became a very respected gypsy of the court. The day I turned 16, he gave me the earrings and bracelet my mother had worn. She had taken them off the night we'd traveled into Paris to keep from making noise. My father had kept them safe all these years, and now they were mine. How did he have those in the prison?
That was my first question.
I mean, of course, there's a lot of errors here that don't make sense, but that one sticks out the most. Esmeralda and I became beautiful young women and brought in more money than most. My father did not approve of my dancing with Clopin, only because he favored Cornelius more, as he was the one that brought him to the court. No matter that Clopin had taken me in. My father was a very prideful man. Does that have to do with anything? Catch stole him back or something? Nope, I got nothing. I don't have anything either.
Nor do I.
Let me scroll down because I keep neglecting to do so. Many nights, after everyone was asleep, I would creep out the caravan I lived in with my father and join Clopin on his watch. Sometimes I cried for Mother, other times for my brother. Sometimes we just talked. He became like an older brother to me, more so than Cornelius. 6 years after that, I was dancing along with Esmeralda later than usual when a troop of drunkards came through. They tossed
Congratulations, meh. Sorry.
Oh.
She finished blanket she started when she was 8.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
I lost my place. Oh, wait. There we go.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's great news. They tossed us the remainder of their money and left, except for one. When Esmeralda and I left, he grabbed me by one arm and covered my mouth. Tried to rape me, but someone saved me. I didn't see who it was, but I didn't stick around to find out. I was too frightened. I ran for the cathedral. I thought that maybe someone would come after me, and I ran up the stairs to the bell towers. It was childish and ridiculous, but I hid amongst the bells and fell asleep among the rafters. At dawn the next day, the bells started ringing, jolting me out of my sleep. I fell off, but somehow was awake enough to grab them before I fell too far. I silently dropped down to the floor and meant to just leave. Rainbow lights dancing across the floor caught my attention, and when I looked up, I saw a tiny town on a table. I gazed at it in awe at the incredible craftsmanship and ran my finger over the building.
Okay, so let's see. Who are you? What are you doing here?
I jumped at the new voice. I hadn't even realized the bells had stopped ringing.
Who are you?
A shadow moved just beyond my sight.
I'm Asperity. I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone lived up here. I got scared last night and ran up here, and I don't know why. I'm sorry. You're a gypsy, a witch, a monster. I am not.
I stomped my foot. What is it with these people and their stereotypes?
Who told you that we were? Have you ever met one? No, I haven't met anyone. Other than my master, Judge Frollo.
I stopped pacing at that. His master?
Come into the light.
I beckoned the man, judging by the voice, to come out of the shadows with a wave of my hand. He hesitantly stepped forward. He had a hunchback, and one eye was swollen. His head was topped with a mop of red hair, and he had thick arms. I gasped in recognition.
I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation, but I've been calling him Aslan, like in language and wardrobe.
That works. Quasimodo, Aslan. Take that meme out of here.
My name is Quasimodo.
He had my mother's eyes. I had rocked him to sleep many a night while my parents were out looking for food. My mother had been devastated that he had come out like this, but we had all come to love him even more. My mother had died trying to protect him, and Judge Claude Frollo, the evil-looking man in black robes, had taught him to know his own kind and himself as a monster. Well, as monsters. That is what Quasimodo means.
No. You were called Aslan. Mother named you. She died trying to protect you. My master told me that my mother died, and that he was the one who found he was the only one that would care for me. You would, I would have, but I thought he found you. You're my brother.
I sat on my knees in front of him.
You are my baby brother.
I smiled through tears and hugged him. He slowly hugged me back, and I felt something in him change, as if he realized that I was right and that I was his older sister. Oh, how I missed him. Okay.
Don't tell anyone.
Why? Why is this moving so quick?
I don't know. Believe me, it'll slow down when to do scene by scene.
Oh, so this is one of the original scenes?
Especially the nobody cares what Ebony's wearing moments.
Oh, God. Yes, it is very oddly paced.
Don't tell anyone. Why not? Bobby would be thrilled. I don't want to leave here. This is where I live. I'm happy here.
It's like a Stitch voice. I can't get over it.
Quasimodo is Stitch.
Yes.
Asperity played by Barney the Dinosaur, and Quasimodo played by Stitch.
My face fell, but I agreed, although I caught his hesitation.
I'll visit you as much as I can.
I kissed his cheek gently and then ran out.
Goodbye for now, Aslan.
This is my family, pointed bells and gargoyles. Yeah. I was in a state.
I can't help but think of Secret of the Hunchback.
Oh, God. Beautiful movie.
We need to find that DVD.
Yeah, which company was that? I know it wasn't Golden.
I want to say it was Good Times, before Golden Films and Good Times came together.
I think Jet Lag.
Because Golden Films did The Handsome of Notre Dame.
Oh, God, that's another one that needs to be added to the collection.
Yep.
Hopefully we can find a good amount of these before May.
It's my family. Points at bells and gargoyles. It is foul and broken. That's stupid. Yeah. Collapse for match.
Beautiful. Let's see. When I arrived back at the Court of Miracles, and before I could go to my father, Clopin was there, pulling me into a bone-crushing hug.
Why did you run off? I searched everywhere for you all night long. Your father was worried, and Esmeralda is fretting.
I'm sorry. Were you the one that saved me last night? Thank you. I thought someone was going to come after me, so I ran.
I told my father and Esmeralda that I had lost my way in the dark and spent the night in the cathedral. Papa never told a soul. I was thankful for that, and I had never told anyone that I had found my baby brother, but I visited him often. 23 years after that...
You kind of blanked out for like a good bit.
What?
I'm not the only one who heard that, right?
What?
I said you like blanked out for a good bit. Unless it was just on my end.
Should I reread that then?
Alright, good. Mess says that you also... You heard that on your... let's see. I told my father and Esmeralda, and then you blanked out.
Oh, I told my father and Esmeralda that I had lost my way in the dark and spent the night in the cathedral. Clopin never told a soul. I was thankful for that. And I never told anyone that I had found my baby brother, but I visited him often. 23 years after that fateful winter night, a week before the Festival of Fools, Clopin and I were dancing in the square where he held his puppet shows. One of my earrings fell out and rolled away. I went to retrieve it when suddenly Judge Claude Frollo appeared, thundering through on his black horse and nearly trampled me. Clopin tackled me and we rolled away, saving my mother's earring as well as our lives. It left bruises and a lasting impression on me since he landed on top of me, covering my head until the rest of Frollo's guards had passed. I never realized how strong he was. I thought he hardly ever ate. It was then I realized that I was beginning to love him, or that I did love him more than just a friend, more than just a brother. It wasn't until next week that, dressed in my green and yellow striped corset overtop my white petticoat and my red gypsy's belt over my blue-green skirt, while I was dancing with Esmeralda. I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Dolly.
What?
Dolly.
Oh, Dolly? Jacques.
It's either Dolly or Jolly. Wait, Jolly, I think. Yeah, Jolly.
Jolly, Jacques, and Francis, when a certain blonde-haired man found us, and two rude guards tried to take the money that we had earned. It was the start of a very bad day.
That is the end of chapter 1.
I don't think I scrolled down the screen enough for the last part, but there we go.
But yeah, I heard the groan as you're doing the nobody cares what Ebony is wearing moment.
At least it wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling it gets worse.
It's gonna start doing the scene by scene.
And so it's just 9 chapters long? Well, story-wise?
Pretty much. I'm only on chapter 5.
Shall we continue?
How long has our stream been so far?
Almost 30 minutes.
I think we could do another chapter.
Okay. Let's see how this... I forget how I have the screen set up, so I'm waiting for it to pop up again. Should be good. Chapter
Alright.
2, The Festival of Fools. Do you want to take over?
Sure.
Okay.
We had been dancing as we usually did. Francis on the lookout, and Jacques playing the flute while Jolly, Esmeralda's pet goat, hopped around us. A mother and child passed us, the elder scolding the younger and telling them to stay away, lest we rob them blind. I rolled my eyes. I swear, too little. Annoying morons. Do one stupid thing and condemn us all. A few seconds later, a man showed up. He was blonde, with a blonde beard and a long blue cloak that covered him from the neck down. He was leading a white horse behind him, tossing away a map. He had to be at least 30. Then he saw Esmeralda. His face turned dismay. Sorry, I read that wrong. His face turned dreamy, and a small grin pulled at the corner of his mouth up. My sister gave him a smirk, her emerald eyes dancing with mischief, and patted her tambourine. That's when Francis whistled. We made a beeline for the alleyway, leaving Jolly to get the hat full of coins they spilled, and he bawled a complaint. We both ran to pick them up. Insert OC. And guard suddenly blocked out the sunlight. We slowly stood up with the hat full of coins that fell out. There was a taller guard with a mustache and a shorter guard with big lips. He was kind of gross. The tall one spoke first. Would you like to do voice, or would you like me to do voice?
I lost where we were.
The tall one spoke first.
Where'd you get those monies, gypsies? I've got no voices on hand, sorry.
It's okay. He gave our title with venom. Did I give Esmeralda a voice?
No, I don't think so. I don't think she spoke yet. Did she?
I don't think so.
For your information, we earned it.
Esmeralda retorted.
Oh, at this point, I could probably just do the Southern Belle voice for Esmeralda. No, then again, that voice should probably just stay for okay. Gypsies don't earn money.
He rolled his eyes.
Yeah, they steal it.
The short, round,
No,
fat
okay,
guard
gotta do
complained.
it. No! Why? I mean, yes, it's
Because
my own
Southern
fault
Belle?
for bringing it up, but
Southern Belle Oogie Boogie strikes again.
You'd know a lot about stealing, wouldn't you?
I asked venomously.
it's a good voice. Fine. When she talks again, I'll do the voice. If she talks again.
Who, Esmeralda?
Yeah. She doesn't
Okay.
seem to have many lines.
Okay. The tall guard is speaking again.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Troublemakers, eh? No.
The tall one tried to take the hat away from Esmeralda, and she fought against him, though he settled for grabbing my right arm.
Maybe a day in the stocks will cool you down.
The fat one tried to grab my left arm, and I kicked him away. Jolly rammed the tall one in the stomach, releasing my arm. He had been holding me rather hard, and bruises. Rather hard on my bruises from the week before, and we ran. Esmeralda and I hid in one of the alleys and watched the blonde man pull his horse in front of the two guards. They fell over. The tall one just hit the right spot. The blonde man glanced around his horse and seemed to come to a decision. I'll kill you, shit. He did so obediently, like a dog. Woo! Oh, I am so sorry. Naughty horse, naughty. He lightly scolded his horse, a grin toying with his mouth. He is just impossible. I can't take him anywhere. I mean, they are in France, so. The blonde leaned on his horse, and we took the opportunity to run again. We came to a crowded street, and we split sides. It was then that the 2 guards came pushing through the crowd, shouting, "Make way for the captain." Wait, captain? Captain of the guard? Excuse me. I looked around to find something to stand on to get a better look. I nearly fell off the crate I had found when I saw the blonde man following the 2 guards. Whoops, hold on, my thing started to spaz. Okay, hold on. I nearly fell off the crate and I had found when I saw the blonde man following the 2 guards, dressed in gold armor. Hold on. I think that's Esmeralda.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought it was the Sioux. Or Asperity here. Oh well.
Yeah, it's Esmeralda.
Get down from there. Hold on, let
I
me try
hopped
that
down,
again.
catching a glimpse.
Get down from there. There we go.
I hopped down, catching a glimpse of the captain stooping down. A few moments later, I came back up to Esmeralda, who was watching after said captain. What happened?
He gave us more money.
Ooh. With that, we left, and we went to find our other 2 partners to dance a little more before the time of our show came. A little over 20 minutes later, Clopin arrived and pulled my sister and me under the arms, pulling us away from the street and towards the tent where we were to get ready. Oh.
Mi amores, where have you been? The festival is about to begin.
Okay, I just looked over at chat. Yes, exactly. Le baguette, le Eiffel Tower. You can't see me, but I am so happy. Alright, let's see. Esmeralda grinned and ducked out of his hold. Well, I guess you'd better get going, shouldn't you? I said, grinning as well. His touch almost made me shiver. His clothes were colorful, purple and yellow, and he wore his favorite hat, wide-brimmed with a large yellow feather. And today, he wore a purple mask with gold trim.
Don't be late.
He let go and pranced off. I rolled my eyes, and we ducked into the tent as the singing started. I swear, he does much more than... If he does much more of that, people will begin to talk.
He's Clopin. I don't know how to say that with a Southern Belle accent. I'm sorry.
Try, but just do whatever.
I don't think people will even dare talk about him.
And we started to change out of our regular clothes. I think the captain might like you, miss.
Well, what makes you say that?
We were separated by a curtain, so she couldn't see my eye roll when I stuck out my tongue. Did you see the look he gave you? I squirmed, uncomfortable, as I remembered the look in his eye. She didn't have time to answer. A large form rolled through the tent and pulled the curtain down, tangling itself in it. We both whipped around to see what happened. That's Esmeralda.
Okay, I couldn't tell who was saying that. Hey, are you alright?
He looked back at her. He didn't. He hadn't even heard him. Oh, whoops! Sorry, I was at the wrong area. More right.
She tied her rope.
She tied her robe before the creature, kneeling down in front of the figure. Whoops! I
Looking over
read that really wrong.
So what? I think one way to easily improve all this, get rid of the scene by scene and just like have the characters briefly chat to keep the side story that happens in line time wise with the main story. Yeah, that would certainly help.
That would definitely help.
And again, author, you should really just slow down your pacing.
It's going quick.
Yeah, and plus, the way it feels, it's like you assume us to see the the movie beforehand, which, granted, yes, that's why we're coming to read this, because we've seen it before. But when you're taking these, I think it's best to work as if your audience has no idea what they're going into. If that makes sense.
Alrighty. She tied her robe before kneeling in front of the figure. I didn't need to see his face to know who it was. Esmeralda pulled the hood off Quasimodo's head and I choked. He didn't see me, so I hid. I trying not to cry or pass out. What was he doing here?
Asperity, are you alright?
I looked back at her. I hadn't even heard him leave. Yes, I'm fine. We hung the curtain back up and changed into our costumes. Esmeralda was red satin with pink frills. Mine was a pale blue with green. I was up first, so we had to hurry. As she put my headpiece on and smoothed coal on my eyes. I hope I said that right. I made sure that my earrings were in place and that my hair wouldn't get caught on anything. Let me borrow your tambourine. She handed over to me, and I left the tent, getting to the stage just in time for me to trade places with Clopin, as he threw the tiny explosive powder capsules down. I felt him kiss my cheek fleetingly. As he left, I was stunned for a short moment. I recovered quickly and began the sultry dance that I had been practicing for the past week, seducing the crowd with my eyes. Dropping the tambourine, I continued to dance, pulling out a purple scarf with gold stars and moons. I pranced over to Frollo's tent, where he sat on his makeshift throne, climbed up in front of him, and pulled his face down towards me with the scarf. His skin was pale white, and his eyes like little glass beads of a crow. I made to kiss his nose, but slapped his ridiculous hat down over his face instead. Vile creature. I knew he was angry at me as I pranced away, and I could definitely see it when I turned back to tease him. The scarf was clenched in his fist. Even as I cartwheeled once back, I landed in a split, winking at my little brother. I couldn't tell he just about hated me. Aslan shied away, knowing then that I had caught him. I continued to call him his name given by my mother rather than the name Frollo gave him. Once I got up, I did a few more turns and then took took a guard's spear, staking it on the stage. But I can't read for beans. With that, I used my momentum to spin around the spear, ending at the bottom and nodding my head once to signify the end, with my arm and leg formed a V. Clopin leapt on stage and bowed once before taking my hand in his black glove. Taking my hand in his black gloved one and helping me stand up. He then spun me once more, bowing along with me in another cloud of smoke as Esmeralda and I trade places. She should have gone first, for I would not have pulled Aslan onto the stage. I suppose fate has a cruel way of making things work in its favor, doesn't it?
So, does this mean Hellfire is going to be about her?
Pretty much.
Okay. Suggest
There are some...
more so.
Oh, go for it.
It seems odd that Asperity is the one who is teasing Frollo. You'd think she would be terrified of him. I mean, yes, she would feel hate for him for doing everything that he does, but you would think that she'd be too scared to approach him. Only because she saw firsthand of what he did to her mother. But you were saying, I'm sorry.
I was saying they have a scene where she and Esmeralda share basically their dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why she was made part of the moment, but she was.
Okay.
Instead of doing something completely different, it was basically sharing the same things that Esmeralda was doing.
Yeah. It really seems like this is just copy-paste. And it's a shame because you could actually do a lot with this setup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, having your character be Quasimodo's older sister, I could see that actually working.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like...
Believe me. Believe me, it's a good premise.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you could give a lot of different perspectives here, but it doesn't seem like the author is using that to their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would recommend that the author take a while to look at this and maybe rewatch the movie again, draw less inspiration from what's happening with Esmeralda.
Yep.
Just rework this, because even in the first 2 chapters here, it's not... I would not put this on top 10 worst things I've seen. Good premise.
Oh, absolutely not.
Show, yeah. But again,
believe me, it's definitely not the worst thing.
Yeah, this has a lot of potential, and...
Because I've seen the worst possible thing.
Oh, what would you list as the worst?
I'm kind of between My Inner Life and the Courage the Cowardly Dog thing. I understand that a lot of love went into that thing, but oh my god.
Geth's main butler in any of her works holds title for the worst things I've ever seen. Ugh. Which reminds me, I still have the Pirates of the Caribbean fanfiction just floating around. Just waiting.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh, it'll be great.
Oh dear.
again, compared to Minor Life, this feels like these chapters are pretty short.
Yeah. Plus, I think once we've read My Inner Life, we've already set the bad meter pretty high.
Oh, absolutely. And looking back at chat again, Meth says, Minor Life, I can't see that being improved, just, oh man. Well, I feel like that every story has a lot of potential, and you could save not every story, but a good amount. Minor Life needs some serious rehashing. Like, you need to carve that open in order to salvage it.
It's still marble.
With enough determination.
Nah, I don't know if you heard me earlier in the last stream that probably my favorite OC or self-insert fan fiction I've ever seen is a Legend of Zelda one. And I can't remember what it's called or where it is because I lost the bookmark because Lappy ate it. Not my current Lappy, but my old Lappy ate it. It was really good. And it was in comic form. I feel like you've seen it before, but I don't know. It was basically a girl was playing Legend of Zelda, and she had a strange dream about meeting Link when she was a kid, like when they were both kids, and then something about the game she was playing. I guess when she was about to turn it off, it was like, "Oh, will you save the world?" And she's like, "What?" And then next thing she knows, she's in Hyrule. It's very well written. It's actually one of my favorite self-insert fan fictions I have ever read. Because she writes the characters human. And not robots or people to be in the way. Even though she has a romantic interest with Link, it's a build-up. Like, it takes several chapters for it to build up. So it's always been there. Like, they were hinting at it throughout the entire thing. They don't admit it or say anything about it until a lot later. I think they're in the Shadow Temple when they finally talk about it. And Link has to trust her from being blinded by poison. I want to find it again because I know it was still updating. It's in the depths of DeviantArt somewhere.
It sounds promising.
It's very good. And even though there was a fake out scene where Princess Zelda was basically trying to avoid getting married to this other guy, so she was pretending to be in love with Link. It was kind of like a Link and Zelda were pretending to be together, so the guy would, screw off. And she had saw it, or had seen what they were doing, and she thought that he and Zelda were together, so she got really heartbroken and depressed. And she writes the depression pretty accurately. It takes a while for her to come out of it, and it takes some convincing, but she eventually gets out. I'm hoping I could find it. wish I remembered the title of it. There is silence. There was silence.
Well, I'm not quite sure what to say.
Sounds good. But the guy by chance dressed in all white, faded, getting dirty. JK. I was about to say you described the TV series. But, I mean... Wait. No, that's not it. I got excited for a second because I thought I saw it because it looked similar. Basically trying to find it. Because it was done in, like, colored pencil. Very well done. I've come across a Kingdom Hearts comic for some reason.
Gosh. You know what I recently remembered? The Kingdom Hearts fan fiction. The one that I wrote.
Oh yeah, that one.
It should still be floating around on fan fiction.
Should we read that one?
That's short.
I know it's short. We need to continue that.
It's been years.
I know it's been years. Surprisingly, people were very supportive.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it.
I'm kind of curious. Maybe it's on Taptastic. It's a stretch, but maybe. Continuing my quest.
Found it.
Staff of Power.
Oh, it's a shame I can't zoom
Shattered.
in on the icon.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
I'll show chat. Look at this. I don't know how well that could be seen. Let's see.
Wait, I'm not. There we go.
There. It's kind of
there we
horrible quality, but look at that. Beautiful. See if I can zoom out now.
Beautiful. Gorgeous. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. You need a shot of the shoes.
Will it let me open
the stiletto cat paws?
No, it won't. But look at those. Oh, and the name got cut off. It's a shame.
Miwakuna?
Uh-huh. I am proud of this horrible looking OC.
You want that to be you?
Don't you understand? Miwiwa Kuna is my spirit animal. I'm actually surprised not many people caught on that this was a troll account. Only because the character's name, I think, translates into annoying.
Yep.
I say the name is Susie. Only, I know that's a legitimate name, it just... Let's see, I've got seven chapters? Let me switch scenes really fast.
You have 7 chapters? Wait, what?
I thought I had less.
I thought you had like 2.
I thought so too. It's been 83 years.
Unless your account got hacked and added onto.
You know what? If they were that desperate for it, by all means.
Dude, you missed the opportunity of raptors with lasers. Oh, I thought I almost found it again. Gosh dang.
Let's go back into this. Secret of the Hearts. I have 6 reviews. Oh, yeah, these were all the chapter sizes. Let's see. I don't think I labeled any of them, but yeah, it says 7 chapters. Oh, I'm proud of this.
So proud. Frame it.
Let's see.
Right.
While you're looking, I'll read over this. Yeah, this is a Kingdom Hearts fan fiction. I don't remember who I was trying to set Miwiwa up for, but here we go. My name's Miwiwa Kuna, and I'm from the world Alice in Wonderland. I sit on a tall building looking down at Traversa Town, my pink hair with blue tips blocking my eyes, which were green since I was focused on my job. I wore a robe that was a dark gray color and had these little crown thingies as strings. The air was cold, but I was used to it since I was always left out in the cold when I was a little girl. As I sit there, my bright pink cell phone started to go off as a little tune played. I was getting a text message from my boss. I looked at my phone screen. It said, "Don't forget your mission, Miwiwa." I rolled my now orange eyes, which meant I'm annoyed, and wrote back saying KK. Before I could hit the send button, I saw a boy with brown spiky
Oh yeah, I forgot that her eyes changed color.
She is my spirit animal and my precious child. He was wearing a black jacket, red pants, and big yellow shoes. Interested, I stood up and jumped off the building. My cat-like reflexes helped me land perfectly on my feet. My boots are a pretty gray color with red bows on it, and tiny bells and a tall heel. On my toes, it looked like a cat foot. Oh, I remember now. I remember the other chapters now. Oh my gosh.
You remember the other chapters now?
Yes.
Do they involve raptors with lasers?
No. Unfortunately not. I never got that far. I ran to catch up with this strange boy, using my skills from my job to follow him silently. The boy stopped in a dead end, his eyes swollen from crying. I hid behind a wall, curious to see what was wrong with this odd boy. Maybe I can help him? My eyes turned a pretty aqua Which means blue. Blue spelled B-L-Y-E.
Between Bly and Spanish?
When I started feeling sad for the boy, before I could ask him what's wrong, I heard footsteps coming quickly. Author's note, so what do you think? Let me know, okay? Oh,
I think you were going for something there, but I don't remember what.
I don't remember, but this is beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Means Bly in Spanish.
I think Bly was a accidental typo. Oh gosh, I lost it. Oh gosh, this is beautiful. Oh,
I like finding this comic.
You know what I should do? I should log back onto this account and rewrite this, but with all of my focus on it, not a troll fic, just trying to rehash it. Author's note: Muiwa isn't a Mary Sue. She's my OC. Chapter 2. I hid behind a barrel I saw and ducked down. Suddenly, a dog came running towards the boy I had followed. It tilted its head and then sat beside him. The boy shook his head and petted the dog, sorry. It's no use, Pluto. I can't find them anywhere, he cried. I decided that this boy was harmless, and I stood up, walking over to him. Can't find who? I asked, my hands tugging on the hood of my robe so he wouldn't see my face. The boy looked at me, his ocean blue eyes filled with tears. My friends, Riku and Kairi, he answered, wiping a tear from his face. My cheeks felt a sudden rush of heat as I looked at his adorable face. Maybe I could help, I responded, looking away. I see lots of people here. He jumped up, hugging me. Really? Thanks, he grinned. Hold on, sorry. He looked up. I keep looking ahead and I'm losing it at the typos. Really? Thanks, he grinned. He let me go, now holding out his hand. I'm Sora. What's your nom?
What's her nom?
I hesitated.
Nom 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 nom.
I hesitated but shook his hand. I'm you, Kuna. With my free hand, I took off my hood, my pink hair falling into place as my eyes turned a soft green color, which meant I was happy. Sora still smiled, a light blush on his face. So, he looked at the sky. Where do you think they are? I shrugged. I don't know. You told your dog you searched everywhere here, right? Yeah, he nodded. Then maybe they're on another world, I suggested. Other worlds? His eyes were huge and looked starry. They exist? Of course, I told him, smiling. You need a gummy ship to travel to them, but they exist. His excitement seemed to grow. A gummy ship? So you have one? I shook my head no. No, I don't have a ship. I use portals to travel to other worlds. So do you think we can find them on another world? He put his hand behind his head. We could always look, I smiled. The closest one to Traverse Town is my home world. We can look there first, I explained. Okay, let's go. Sora giggled happily. I nodded and closed my eyes. Spelled Yews. Putting my left hand up. A black portal appeared in front of me, and I told Sora to follow me in it. He hesitated, but jumped in after I walked through. Spelled Threw. Author's note, KK guys. Next chapter, you get to see her hometown. Smiley face. Ah, gosh, I forgot all about this story, and it was amazing. I should have wrote more. Any luck finding it?
I remembered that it also featured Marth and Roy, and I'm trying to find it.
Okay, well, while you're looking, I'm just gonna continue going through this.
Okay, go for it.
Hopefully you can find it before I reach chapter 7. Because I don't know what exactly to have afterwards. Well, what to do to fill time. Oh, there we go. Okay. I found myself in a forest, everything seeming gianty compared to me. I looked around, seeing Sora on the ground, rubbing his head. Ow, he groaned. Where are we? Just then, a new voice cut in. Quite a question indeed. Who's there? Sora cried out, looking around. My eyes turned a bright orange as I looked at a rock. Muiwa.
My eyes turned bright orange as I looked at a rock.
Muiwa continued. I'm shocked you're back. Suddenly, a man with dark purple hair, bright purple eyes, and cat ears and a tail that matched mine appeared on the rock I was looking at. The man gave a wide grin, resting his head on his hands. The legend's true, then. Go away, I hissed, my bright pink ears flastening. I wanted nothing to do with this man. Miwiwa? Sora looked up at me, his eyes glowing with curiosity. Who's this? The infamous Cheshire Cat, I returned bitterly. Now, the man purred, his fluffy tail wrapping around himself playfully. That's no way to greet your dad. Sora's eyes widened. Dad? So that's why you two look alike. He's not my dad, I hissed. He abandoned me.
That's one part I did remember.
The Cheshire Cat being your dad?
Yep. Yes.
Just looking back at chat and Matt writing damn you rock. The Cheshire Cat frowned. Poor Mewy. Sigh. You know I couldn't come to see you. He reached over to his head, pulling it off his body. I'd lose my head, he giggled. I didn't want to hear anymore, so I ran away. Author's note, what do you guys think? Is it good? Matt, you're providing some of the best comments for this. You're not my real dad. Beautiful.
I don't know the title of it, but I know what it looks like. I know that it features Marth and Roy for whatever reason. So well written. Comic, please come back to me, I promise. I will keep you
Don't worry,
bookmarked.
it'll come up again. I'm sure he'll find it. I'm just gonna keep reading then.
Go for
Chapter
it.
4. Tears were in my beautiful pale brown eyes that looked almost white as I ran away from the Cheshire Cat and Sora. I could hear their faint calls for me, but I ignored it as I ran. I was in so much pain as my past was brought up. I hated my quote-unquote dad for what had happened. He never once visited me as a child. My mother was harsh on me too, and I needed him. He was never there. As I ran, I didn't pay attention to where I was going and ran into a taller boy. Hey, get out of my way. I stopped myself as I looked at the man in front of me. He had silver hair that seemed to shine. It was shoulder length. He had beautiful icy blue eyes and wore a yellow shirt and jeans. He turned to face me, his eyes becoming wide with surprise. Oh, I'm sorry. He held out his...
I thought you said wide with a surprise.
You know, that should have been a typo.
Wide with a surprise.
Oh, I'm sorry. He held out a hand, helping me up. I didn't think I'd meet anyone else here. Oh, that's okay. I blushed, holding a hand to my mouth as I smiled. My eyes changed to a pretty shade of purple with my happy mood. My name's Riku, he told me, giving me a polite smile. You know, all I can think of is, wait, weren't your eyes green before for happy? Good to see I was as consistent as ever for this story. Let's see.
See, this is the closest thing you've ever written to a fairy tale.
You know what? It probably is. My heart nearly skipped a beat as I gave a shy response. I'm Muiwa Kuna. That's a pretty name. Thanks. My cattail swayed nervously under my robe as my cat ears fluffed. I didn't understand why I was so nervous with Riku. This never happened before. When I looked back at him, I realized he was giving me a weird look. Is I something wrong? I asked him. You look familiar. Have we met before? He asked, tilting his head. No, I don't think so, I answered, looking down at the ground now. Just then, Riku reached out and placed a hand under my chin, tilting my head up. You're the queen's daughter. I froze, my eyes widening. How? You look just like her. I can't read that out with a straight face. You look just like her, miss. He smiled, taking his hand away. I instantly grew disappointed as his hand left my chin. I tried to hide my disappointment by crossing my arms and looking away. So? The Princess of Hearts shouldn't be so far from her kingdom. Riku grabbed my hand and started dragging me to the castle. I was so shocked, my eyes turned bright gold as my cheeks turned a dark red. My heart started pounding as he held my hand. I couldn't form words. I just followed him silently. Author's note, sorry it took so long to update. Update, guys. I was sick. Updating another chap soon. And please give me some review, guys. I want to know what you think of my story. Oh gosh. I can't get over how beautiful this is. Oh my god, to be honest, her eyes sound really scary at that part. Which part? It's not happiness, that's true love. It's real. Guys, please. Let's see, chapter 5 of what, 7? The White? Sorry.
I'm getting desperate. I'm looking on Google now.
We are just having two different adventures here.
I'm determined, ma'am. Determined.
The brown, almost white eyes. Oh, I have no idea what the thought process was behind all this, but I'm glad. Author's note. Hey guys, I just got over writer's block and I've got tons of new ideas. I'm writing the next 2 chaps as we speak. The next thing I knew, I was at a familiar castle. It was tall, colored a vibrant red with pink hearts beautifully decorated along the sides. My eyes turned orange because I was annoyed, again, when I saw this building. We arrived at the gate and was quickly let in by 2 card guards. God damn, even in this fanfiction, I can't escape gates.
Gates.
I couldn't bring myself to struggle against Riku's strong grip on my hand. I couldn't explain why. Explain spelled Expliane. But I liked it when he held my hand. Our fingers seemed to intertwine together perfectly, as if they were simply made to be together. As we walked through the castle grounds, I could hear the whispers of the townspeople around us. Is that the princess? Has she finally returned to us? We've missed her so. My eyes turned red. That means I'm angry. As I listened to their comments, I never wanted to be their princess. I hated my mother and father. I deserved a life better than living in their shadows. Ah, Princess Miwa Kuna Hearts, cried a young girl with blonde hair. She wore a blue dress with a white apron on the front that looked like a giant heart. She smiled as she ran towards us. Who is this? Riku asked me as he stopped walking. I sighed, but the girl spoke before I could. My name is Alice, sir. She gave a curtsy and looked at me, giving a warm smile. You've had us all worried. We thought you were never going to return. Thank you for bringing our dear princess back to us. Alice had once lived in the human world, but had somehow discovered Wonderland one day. She had eventually found her way to my mother's castle and was almost killed for disrespecting the queen. But I had stopped my mother from killing Alice and gave her a chance to go home. Alice couldn't find her way back, so she decided to stay and work in the castle. We quickly became close friends over the years. She considered me to be her big sister. Alice grabbed my hand and giggled. The queen will be so joyed to see you've returned. Come on, let's not keep her waiting. I looked over my shoulder to Riku.
Awkward zombie.
Did you find it?
No, I said no, not awkward zombie. Because I already know that one.
Okay. I look over my shoulder to Riku, my eyes becoming a pale brown. This strange and handsome man would have to leave now that I had been returned. I couldn't help but feel a pain in my heart. I didn't want to say goodbye to Riku. Before I could say anything, Alice began to walk me towards the castle. When I looked into Riku's beautiful icy blue eyes, I could see sadness within them. Maybe this won't be our only meeting, I thought to myself. I don't remember anything past that, unfortunately, but I guess we'll find out. When was this written anyway? April 11th, 2013, updated May 26th of that year. Author's note. Okay, so I was gonna wait till tomorrow to post this, but I was so excited I decided to finish the chapter and post it now. So here's chapter 6. Bad memories were being brought to my head as Alice and me walked to the throne room. At the large chair in the center sat a beautiful woman with candy pink hair and wore a long red dress that was decorated in black and white hearts. She wore a golden crown with a ruby in the shape of a heart on the center. Her eyes were... Oh, I just glanced down and I saw that even I had the whole wall of text with the description. This is good. She wore a golden crown with a ruby in the shape of a heart on the center. Her eyes were wide when I walked in. I only narrowed my eyes that were now a deep red color. Muiwa, the woman spoke, getting up from her chair. She stood still for a moment, tears in her eyes. She then came running towards me. Quick side note, my sis likes to draw creepypasta characters because they have interesting designs, and I just love this most recent one she's drawing. So funny. Oh, which one? I know a few of the creepypasta characters, not many. Let's see. Woman spoke, getting up from her chair. She stood still for a moment, tears in her eyes. She then came running towards me, throwing her arms around my body and bringing me in for a tight hug. My darling princess. I only pushed her away. I'm not your daughter, I hissed. I knew she was putting on an act to fool the people into thinking she loved me. She hated me, I could tell. Her eyes held anger as I rejected her hug, but she still smiled. You've returned to us. I knew you would. The queen turned to a short man who had snow-white hair and long rabbit ears. Candy cane. Lost my place again. Oh. You, call the townspeople. We must have a celebration at once. My darling daughter, our princess, has returned. With a scared nod, he ran off. Alice, the queen looked at us again. Help Muiwa prepare for tonight. Yes, your majesty. Alice smiled and looked at me. I rolled my eyes, but walked with her upstairs. I was brought to my old room and found an outfit had been laid out for me. Sighing, I took off my black robe and clothes to put on the dress. It was poofed out a bit, but it looked stunning on me. The dress was a hot pink color that has a slit to the left side, and there was white fabric there. The dress was sleeveless and had tiny hearts at the top that fanned out into bigger hearts at the bottom. I wore a black piece of silk around my waist that had silver swirls in it. I was wearing a silver necklace that had a good-sized diamond in the center that was in the shape of a heart. I put on matching earrings in both my human and cat ears, and finally went to grab my crown. It was pure silver wires that had gaps in it that looked like tiny hearts. In the center there was a large ruby shaped like a heart. I pulled my hair into a bun and carefully placed the crown on my head before I went to look in the mirror. I couldn't even recognize myself in this beautiful gown. I blushed, looking away. I really do look like a princess.
Still having no luck.
I'm sorry. I don't know how I can help.
I know, I'm sorry. I wish I knew what it was called.
I really do look like a princess, I sighed, walking to my window. The sun had already started to set as I gazed off. I started to think about Riku again. Would he be at the party? Would I be able to see him again? I didn't like being brought home, but I thought I should at least thank him. I closed my eyes, feeling tears starting to form in my eyes. I wanted to see him again. It was the first time I met someone that made me feel so wonderful. I had just let him walk away. I could feel my heart shattering at the memory of being pulled away from him. Muiwa has skills how she does her hair. Also the freaking mirror. You know, I was hoping more people would call me out on that. But unfortunately, all I got was encouragement. I mean, I'm glad that people tried. That shows that people are very kind. But kindness is not what I was looking for. Let's see. I want a while from him. My thoughts were ripped from me as I heard a knock at the door. Who is it? I asked carefully. It's me, Miwiwa, I heard Alice say softly on the other side of the door. I wiped the tears from my now purple eyes as I smiled. Come in. Alice walked in, gasping as she saw me. Miwiwa, she smiled. You look beautiful. Thank you, I smiled in return, walking over to her. As the celebration started, I asked. Alice nodded and took a step to the side. We really should be heading downstairs to join them. The Queen expects you to be there. She's so proud of you coming home. We've missed you all. We've missed you greatly. I didn't want to come back, I sighed. I hate it here. Spelled Hear. And I have better things to do than just play pretend, I hissed. Alice looked confused. What do you mean? She asked. I rolled my eyes and sighed. Forget it. Let's go, I said shortly, walking past her. And, author's note. Oh, I'm also thinking about getting a DeviantArt account and posting pics of Miwiwa. If I do, I'll put a link to it. You can tell that I was getting a little too excited for this. Yeah, I was getting too involved. But it was so much fun. And
I didn't find it, but I found this lovely picture.
One moment. Okay, let me put this up on stream. This needs to be shown. Look at this. This is beauty. How did you come across this?
I have no fucking clue. My keywords I searched was Zelda comic, traditional art page 200. Hoping that would spur anything. And I found that.
Beautiful.
Because I know that it had, like, probably up to 400 pages. It was a really long comic. Really good, and I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. For all I know, they probably took it down. What is Africa doing here?
What is...
Oh, okay, traditional art comic, gotcha.
What's going on?
I saw a picture of one of the comics I follow called Africa. You know the drawing video that I sent you a while back? The girl that does the color pencil work.
Oh, yeah.
The one that's like, I'm going to use purple for shading. It was one of those. I was like, what is Africa doing here? And I was like, oh, wait, right, traditional art comic.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm on the very last chapter. I have no memory of writing this. But the finale for Secrets of the Heart. Author's note. Thanks so much for the good reviews. Here's chapter 4, you guys. Well, here's the next chapter for you guys. A light tune was being played at the party. I could hear the people below gossiping about my return. It all just made me sick to my stomach. How dare they force me into this life I hated? I slowly made my way down to their party, ignoring the people I passed. Silence swept across the room as I walked by. I could feel their gazes on me as I finally reached the queen. My mother, in quotes, stood up and smiled. Citizens of Wonderland, she looked around. It has been 5 long years since our dear princess was taken away from us. Fate has smiled upon us this beautiful day, and has brought my darling daughter home to us. While the people cheered, I turned to look at them and smiled. I had to at least fake it. I had no other choice. Let us celebrate fate's gift and rejoice. Our Princess Muiwa shall bring us glory and hope for our next generation. Wonderland is finally complete once more. I lost my place. I took a seat in the smaller chair beside the queen's, keeping up my act. The queen sat down and looked at me. Daughter, don't you dare call me that, I hissed in a whisper. My mother sighed. I know you and I don't agree on things, but go to hell. My voice held venom as my eyes were deep red. The queen shook her head and looked back at her people. I was thankful to have her ignore me again. This life I was being chained to was not my choice. I wasn't wanted here, it was obvious, and I deserved better than this humiliation. I couldn't focus on the party anymore. My thoughts kept going to Riku. It hurt to be away from him. I just wanted to get up and run outside to look for him. I knew I had to see him again. Fate brought us together. There was no other explanation for this. There was no other explanation for this. I was in love with him, and I knew I couldn't live my life without him. It was certain that we were soulmates, but I was a princess. The queen would force me to marry no less than a prince. I hated the thought of having any other man as my husband. I didn't want to be their next queen. I belonged to the world. I belonged out in the world. I was so wrapped up in my thoughts, I didn't notice the room becoming darker and a new atmosphere consuming the air. And that's the end. All in all, I think it was the best work I've ever made. It just dawned on me the fact that the Queen and Cheshire Cat... It just dawned on me the fact that the Queen and the Cheshire Cat had relations to to produce this spawn. It's true. Okay, it's okay. Rico will go to the Aladdin world and
Wait, what?
himself a prince. What?
Oh. It's okay,
These
Rico.
comments are gold. Thank you.
Okay.
Matt. Did you
Okay,
find it?
my thoughts immediately went to Aladdin and the tale of all time.
Oh, I could have taken it there. You know, what I love, too, is no one called me out on changing the Cheshire Cat's appearance or the Queen's appearance and making characters human. Even though this takes place in Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
Let me go over to the comments before I close this.
Maybe I can DeviantArt surf my way there. I have no other options.
Oh wow, these are nicer than I thought. Well, some of these are. First one says...
Like
okay,
I said, they were encouraging.
Yeah, which surprised me, but... first one says, okay, this seems interesting, but it's a bit short. Also, what happened here? It means bly in Spanish. It should be... which means blue in Spanish. Second person said, I'm sorry, but this is coming out terrible. Your OC is already a Mary Sue. Eye color does not change because of emotion. Cell phones don't exist in Kingdom Hearts. Her hair color is too unnatural. Most importantly, how does a character like her even live in Alice in Wonderland? That's too surreal. Third person said, this isn't horrible, but it's not great either. This is filled with spelling errors, which makes it seem like you rushed through this whole chapter. Some of the notes in parentheses aren't necessary. If you hint that your character is feeling down or depressed, then follow that by mentioning in changes eye color, and you won't need to use those distracting inserts. Although, since she cannot see herself without using a mirror, I don't think she'd know if her eyes changed. Also, the world is called Wonderland. No need for the Alice part. By the way, why is Muiwa sitting on a building? What was the mission she wasn't supposed to forget? Please explain for future references. This is pretty bad, but practice makes perfect. Just keep at it and you'll get better in no time. Number 1 priority, though it's too freaking short. Your writing has gotten better, there are a few mistakes, but that's pretty normal. There are so many so many encouraging things.
Never mind. I thought I found it and I didn't.
I'm sorry you can't find it.
This is so frustrating.
You know, while writing it, I forgot about the mission as well.
Wait. I mean...
Everyone forgot the mission.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever going to be important anyway. But maybe I should try picking this back up. Just, actually attempting to write it instead of trying to make a troll fic.
The deep ocean. The Dojin. Let's see. Dojin.
Sounds like TF is still off on a little adventure there.
Yes, I am on my adventure. I'm thinking I might be getting closer if I use the word dojin instead of comic. That is the word, right? Dojin.
We are almost at the... Actually, yeah, we're at... now we're 43.
Wait. No. Maybe? No. It looks similar to their style. Let's see if it's just a winky dink that the styles are similar. Okay. We'll see. She got princess. Okay. Maybe. You know when the radar goes ding 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 like that?
Yeah, I guess you're getting closer.
I'm hoping because there's Roy and Marth, and it's in a Legend of Zelda group. The thingy. Ding 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 ding. Holy shit, I think I'm close. Holy shit, I think I'm close. Holy shit. I think. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. The style looks very familiar. lawyer, and there's Roy and Mark stuff, and uh, 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 uh. Da, 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 da. But it looks at things as if this is not, I mean, if this is the right person, but it looks like they're no longer updating the comic. Holy. It's definitely this person. Definitely this person, I think. Because they put in Mark's sister as a healer. Come on. Come on. Backwards in time. Let's go. Backwards in time. I'm falling down the rabbit hole. Where did those plushy things come from? Centaur plushies. They're cute. But not what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yes, they're shipping Roy and Mark's sister. Close, I think. It's gotta be. I think it's been so long that they've done the artist ADD thing where... No!
What?
What? I reached the end of the gallery, I think. Short story comics. No. What? Don't do this. Don't do this. I'm pretty sure this is you. It's gotta be you. Gotta be you.
Did they put it into storage? Are they still active? Both questions by me.
I don't know. They probably deleted the whole effing thing.
How long ago did you see it?
My brother, the last time I was reading it, if that gives you any indication.
What was that? You kind of cut out there.
Oh, I said I was living with my brother at the time, if that's any indication.
Do you know the user? Well, the username or anything?
That's why I was like, what? Because my little mental radar was going crazy because the style looks so similar. Plus the fact that they were incorporating the Legend of Zelda characters with the only three Fire Emblem characters. Because who does that? Not many people.
Okay, fair enough.
See if this is sad.
Are they still
I'm
active?
pretty sure that this... Pretty sure that this is the person, but it's not here.
I mean, you cast them. Peeps do that sometimes with old works, which I think is tragic. All by me. I don't know if you're looking at chat.
Scraps, hoping that they put it in their scraps. But there is stuff in their scraps. Nope. No such luck. My search will continue. Perhaps they moved account.
That's a possibility.
Because this is a group, and
Well, we're almost at. We're at 1:51. Well, 1 hour 51 minutes. Don't know how long I've had this blank screen up. So we might need to end the stream here.
okay. I will let anybody know if I do find it.
Hopefully we can get Sam in tomorrow if their internet's working. Maybe then we could do something for My Inner Life or Princess of Shadows too. I'm sure it'd be fun to have you do some voices for some of the characters.
Yeah.
But we'll see what we can do. I also need to
Okie
go
doke.
looking on Steam for some new games to also stream.
Yes.
While I still try to get over the ending of One Shot. Yeah, well, thank you, Matt, for joining in. For this stream is always the last.
I'm sorry I've been tugging everybody around with the... Oh.
It's okay, TF. But for everyone who's watching, I see we have 4 people who joined in on this stream. Thank you guys as well. Thank you.
Even if it was just background noise. I said even if it was just background noise.
Yeah, that's true, but hey, the fact that they stuck around this long, that's what's most important.
It's the thought that counts.
Thank you guys for joining as well. And for everyone watching this in the future, thank you for getting this far.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to pick both My Inner Life up again. Might put this one on hold for a bit, depending, because it's too good to pass up My Inner Life. Or Princess of Shadows, but we'll see.
This person was on a week ago, so I'm gonna send them a note and ask them.
And with that, good night, guys.
Good night.
And as always, take care.